next is Cincinnati. Head coach Luke Fickell. Cincinnati is 3-0. Bearcats played their home opener Saturday against Alabama A&M. Cincinnati won the game 63-7. Bearcats will play at home for the second straight week this Saturday with a non-conference matchup against Ohio at Nippert Stadium. The game will be at noon Eastern and televised on ESPNU. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call today. If you take a minute to tie up the win against Alabama A&M, please. Anyway, expect to see you as you're back at home for an in-state matchup against Ohio.
Obviously a great weekend for us, not just in the sense of the score and things like that, but I think we played 92 players in the game on Saturday night. 35 guys saw their first action ever. So I think that goes a long way in just continuing to develop the culture and the things in our program. There's a lot of guys here that don't get a lot of recognition. They're the scout guys. They're the look guys every single week, and they're going to be great players for us. It's just a part of the process and the development, and for them to have that opportunity Saturday night to get out there to play the game they love to play and in front of a great crowd and a great student section. So all in all, a great night for us, and then a great opportunity here to move on a tough interstate challenge for us, Ohio University, that you know darn well that will come in here and play it like a Super Bowl, and I think it'll be a different, completely different challenge for us this week than what even was last week, and I think that's where we're going to continue to see the growth of our program, the culture of what we're doing.
We'll take questions for Coach Luke Fickell, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue, and the operator will introduce you. Go ahead.
We'll take our next question from C. Austin Cox from AAC Daily. Please go ahead. Your line is now open.
Hey, Coach. Of course, thanks for joining us today. You mentioned that the Bobcats would come in there. They're going to play it like a Super Bowl. Can you tell us some of the challenges that you face when you get some of these teams that come in there and they see, for lack of a better term, a big dog like Cincinnati from a conference like the American? Do they come in with a chip on their shoulder when they see a bigger program like the Bearcats?
I think that a lot of the MAC programs pride themselves in that, and but then it's even more unique to play it interstate. And then I've had the fortune being where I was before of seeing a lot of those matchups and a lot of those things, and you always respect your opponent and know they've got really good football players, and they prepare just as hard as we do through the entire season and off season, and it doesn't matter what stars and what rankings they were as they came out of high school. But to play that to play that in-state, a lot of these guys, they've got a mix of guys and where they're from, but a lot of Ohio kids, and if they really kind of dig down into it, might believe that they were snubbed by us or Cincinnati in some ways of not having an opportunity maybe to come here if they wanted to or not. But I just think that's one of those situations where those guys come in and they really, really, sometimes play above even their abilities.
And, you guys are sitting there at 3-0 right now looking at this game. Is there any risk of your players possibly looking past a team like Ohio with conference play right there on the horizon just a week following that Ohio game? Is there any risk of that?
I don't know. Since I've been here, we have not had this opportunity. And I mean that in the sense that to have to handle some of these positive things and praise, no matter what deserved or not. So that's obviously, in my mind, a big deal. I don't say that we're going to have any chance of overlooking them. I mean, we believe them. We play, Miami of Ohio, which is a big time, rivalry game for us. So we know what the MAC is really like and what their conference is like. So, do I worry about that? Yeah, I think as a coach, you always worry about that. And as things start to get a little bit better, you got to worry about complacency, whether it's playing OU or even, your first conference game if they don't have a great record. So better things that you got to worry about as opposed to maybe even last year where you're just trying to find ways to continue to motivate them because things are really tough.
I understand, Coach. And last question for you real quick. I've been asking everybody this morning. I want to get your opinion on the American Athletic Conference as a whole. Do you feel that it's getting the respect that it deserves and that it has a legitimate claim as a power conference?
Well, I don't think we ever get the respect that we deserve, but respect is going to be earned. And I think we got to continue to do what we've done. Obviously, what UCF did last year, we don't want to be a one-hit wonder. How many teams of us beating UCLA, and I mean, this past weekend, Temple beating Maryland, who beat Texas. I mean, there's a lot of great things that are going on out there. We just got to continue to promote it and continue to do what it is that we've done. And us talking about it, is that going to give us a better opportunity to be recognized as a conference? Yeah. But I think it's more about us continuing to do what we need to do on the football field.
Sounds good, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll take our next question from Leo Hagerty from It's Sports Magazine. Please go ahead. Your line is open.
Good afternoon, Coach.
How are we doing?
I'm doing fine, Coach. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Coach, in your opinion, with all the cancellations of games due to weather issues, does the NCAA need to start the season a week early and then leave the week before championship Saturday as a national makeup date?
I don't know. I don't know that I've spent a whole lot of time thinking about anything like that. I know that's a scheduling nightmare. I mean, obviously we had some issues last year. We haven't been affected this year, but there are a lot of people out there that are affected. I don't know that a knee-jerk reaction of making everybody move games and rearranging the schedule. If that's the case, there's a lot of people that are going to have another bye in there, and even if there's game cancellations, I don't know that it's always going to match up. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, but I'm sure that gives some of the schedule makers and the conference offices an opportunity to think about that. If they come and ask the coaches, we wouldn't be down on starting a week early just because the fact that we get to do more football. But anytime you got to shuffle around and think that you're going to, have to have a little bit of a backlog, I'd rather see us have another bye in there if that's the case. But then it's never going to match up. So I just think it's a really tough situation that, if nature takes its course, then sometimes we just got to be able to adjust and adapt.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Sure. Thank you.
Coach, thanks so much for the time today. I look forward to hearing from you once again next Monday. All right, Coach.